Hi everyone, how are you feeling? And happy Independence Day. Thank you so much for joining us for our 2018 Proud American coverage. We do, as always, want you to use that hashtag Proud American and send us your pictures in your red, white, and blue at the family barbecues, hanging out with your friends, going to fireworks, splashing in the water at the beach, you name it. We want to see you having a good time using that hashtag. We'll be sharing some of your pictures on our social media feeds throughout the day and also on the Fox News channel. So make sure you get those into us stat. So Anna Kooiman here. Make sure you also share this post with all of your friends. We're trying to make the whole country, we're trying to paint it red, white, and blue this Independence Day. We are live on the USS Monterey with the U.S. Navy this morning here in Norfolk, Virginia. There's about 350 sailors on board. It's about 570 feet long. It's a missile cruiser, and this is actually the ship that was used in the April strikes in Syria after Assad had used chemical weapons on his very own people. The sailors on board tell me they are proud to be an American this Independence Day, proud to be part of world history, and really proud in general to be part of the fight for human rights. I want to introduce you now to the commanding officer. This is Captain Dave Stoner. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
First, tell us what makes you a hashtag Proud American this Independence Day.
It's really the opportunity to serve. I've been in the Navy since I was 17 years old, right out of high school, just a couple months. So now 32 years later, I'm still doing what I love to do, which is working with great people, defending the nation, doing the nation's important business.
Yeah, now you are, the way you explained it to me is you're basically the governor of this whole ship.
That's right.
Tell me what your job is.
So my job as the captain is to oversee all the operations of the ship and to make all the final decisions and to communicate to my boss and my commanders out in the fleets what we're doing, what we need, and how we're executing the mission, right? So underneath me is a capable executive officer who's really like the mayor. I mean, he just does all the day-to-day business. Make sure that the schedule runs on time, make sure that people are getting fed, that people have a good place to sleep. Every day he goes and inspects all the berthing spaces and where we eat, make sure it's clean and that it's ready to go. So I went through that job once upon a time, and now I'm the captain and off to a new role.
Well, we're so happy to be here. Thank you so much for letting us have this amazing backdrop and the picnic for everybody in Norfolk, Virginia here. Everybody's going to be part of that. But I have to tell you what's different for us, for Fox News Channel this year. Okay. In our previous years, last year I was fortunate enough to be in Southport, North Carolina and be the host. And we'd gone to Wilmington. We were on the USS Battleship North Carolina. Right. And producers tell me the year before they were also on a decommissioned ship. Okay. This is an active duty missile cruiser.
Absolutely.
And you tell me it's basically a small town. What do you mean by that?
Well, so there's 350 people that live in this 567-foot city. And so the amazing thing is when somebody new reports on board the ship, everybody knows it instantly. And they're sort of asked the same questions dozens of times in their first day. Where are you from? What division do you work with? What do you like to do? What kind of music are you into? All of those things. And because we're welcoming them really into the family.
Yeah. What I thought yesterday when you were graciously giving me the tour, you have your own fire department, your own
Absolutely.
Police department, you have a snack shop.
Right. When we're out in the middle of the ocean, we're all that we have. Now, we get our supplies from ships and helicopters, once a week, once every 2 weeks. But after that, it's really on us. So everything you would find in a small town, you're going to find here, right? And as you experienced yesterday, we've got some phenomenal cooks on board that feed us 3 great meals a day. And then we've got the post office, Amazon packages, and from other online retailers showing up by the pallet. Every time that we get mail, you see these pallets coming across. We had 75 pallets of mail show up on Christmas when we were deployed. So the whole helo hangar here was just full of packages. We had somebody that dressed up like Santa and was passing out the packages. So everything that we can do to make this feel more like home, more like a family is what we're going to do.
And yesterday when you were giving us the tour around the ship, you were telling me it's how many laps? Is it 18 around the ship for a 5K?
That's
or for
right.
a 1 mile?
No, 6 laps to a mile, 18 for a 5K.
Okay, there we go.
So every month we would run a 5K. We'd get up early, usually on a Sunday morning, and we had anywhere from probably 25 all the way up to one time we had 70 runners, and we spread them all out. and had music playing, had water out, and just had a great time with it.
Yeah, just like we would do in a 5K on a Saturday. Very cool. I'm just having such a blast here. Friends, if you're just joining us, we're on the USS Monterey with the U.S. Navy this morning. Happy Independence Day to all of you. We're doing our hashtag Proud American coverage today. I'm with the commanding officer, Captain Dave Stoner. And this is actually the ship that launched the 30 Tomahawk missiles into Syria after Assad had used chemical weapons on his own people. I want you to show us around, or if you want to come this way and show us the Tomahawks and explain what we're looking at here.
So this is the top of our one of two vertical launch systems, and so each of the small square hatches there represents a missile hatch. And so below there will be a missile. The ones that have the black Tomahawk painted on them are the 15 cells back here that were used in the strike mission that night. And so this is one of 23 mission areas that the ship gets certified in before we would ever deploy.
Wow.
And even while we're on deployment, we're constantly preparing for all these areas. We had done dozens of rehearsals of that type of a mission. And so when it came to that night, the team just went into their training and did exactly what they had planned to do.
Yeah.
Very dark night. We were actually coordinating all the shooters for the U.S. that night. So it was 3 ships and 1 submarine that were in 3 different bodies of water around the world, and so we were coordinating that. And then when it came time to launch, all 30 missiles left in a span of several minutes.
Yeah. What did that look like? What did that feel like? This was not a training mission.
It was not a training mission, and so as long as I've been in, this was my first actual live launch, and several of the people on the team was their first live launch. And so once the launch began, I went up to the bridge. Very, very dark night, and as each missile would leave, you'd hear this loud bang as the missile booster ignites, and then the wall of flame that comes up through the uptake hatch, and then seconds later you hear this whoosh as the missile flies by the bridge, and as it does, it sort of lights up everything. Everybody's,
you feel it on your face.
You can feel the heat coming through the windows. You see the glow on everybody's face, and then that quick it is gone, and then you watch as the glow sort of disappears towards the horizon.
And while I was eating lunch yesterday in the mess hall with all of your sailors, I was asking what makes them proud to be an American, and they were referencing that night in April and being proud to be part of world history. How does that make you feel in the fight for human rights?
I could not be more proud of the way that the crew performed, and although the team that does the programming and the launching of the missiles is not that large, the entire crew was just up and around and abuzz that night. Everybody could feel the sense that we were absolutely being part of history. The president had called, we were ready to answer, we executed our mission. Rough in battle, ready in peace is our ship's motto, and it comes from General Taylor, who was at the Battle of Monterey. They called him the old rough and ready. And so when we have a gathering of the crew, we end it by doing that chant, and we'll get somebody to lead the rough and battle piece, and then everybody will respond with ready in peace. So that chant was going on that night while we were doing the launch. So
to have been a fly on the wall, that would have been amazing.
So the whole crew was really up and engaged. And if you're cutting hair, if you're serving food, if you're keeping the engines running and the lights on, you're part of that mission. It's not
just if you're pushing the button, it's everybody. It takes every job, doesn't it?
No, we only had one sailor that was down there pushing the buttons, and this was her first deployment ever. But everybody is part of that mission, and that's what I stressed to them that night when we knew that this was going to take place.
I want to find her. I didn't realize it was a female.
It was.
Wow.
It was. Yep, FC3 Gray.
Wow. Well, listen, thank you so much again for having us. Friends at home, I hope this made you feel patriotic on this Independence Day. I got chills when I came up with all the flags and the red, white, and blue bunting. If you want to go and show, it's okay if we show where our set is and some of the other sailors there. It just absolutely takes my breath away. And if you'd like to see more of our tour that we did earlier on Fox and Friends, head to foxnews.com. You can find it there. I'll also be posting it on my social media feeds as well. Find me at Anna Kooiman, and keep sending us all of your pictures, your videos, your boomerangs. We're going to be sharing some of those on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, on the news channel as well, so you can tell all your family to tune in. We're going to be out here all day in Norfolk, Virginia. We're signing off now. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live. We'll see you in just a bit.